Okay, so funny thing about quarantine and like getting the COVID-19
Mhm.
or the COVID 20, 25, 35, 55. I didn't gain any of that.
Yeah,
Okay. I didn't gain any of that. So for me, quarantine was it was weird, don't get me wrong, because I like to be around a lot of people.
yeah. Oh, no.
Yup.
They don't get it, it's okay. We get it.
I was like, yes, Lord, come on with the cancellations.
Whew, we going in and now just kidding.
You know, I don't know if you know this, but I'm black. Am I good? you know,
He's with the best of them. And he's one of my favorite men to come outside.
that entrance sounds like much more than who I actually am.
My guest of honor is the life of the party everywhere he goes. His vibrant personality and positive energy is so infectious. He's an entrepreneur that serves as an artist, fitness and wellness coach, and leadership consultant. He is the founder and creator of Love Rucker Ave and Project 28. Some of his accomplishments include being a 2 times published author, a former D1 athlete, a proud member of Pi Kappa Alpha 6 years, alumni member, and chapter advisor for the past 3 years. He has a true heart for people that is worn on his sleeve for everyone to see. Today, my guest of honor is Roy Lydell Rucker Jr. How are you doing?
Girl, I love that intro. Thank you. Oh my goodness. That was nice. I'm doing good. I'm living good. I'm feeling good. It's a Sunday, so we are thankful for that. So
Yes,
yeah.
sir. Yes, I'm very happy. I love my Sundays. They are like my work days, but it's me and God, so it's good. So this
Right.
my day to get myself
Exactly.
centered. So tell me, how has quarantine been going
Hey.
for you?
Okay, so funny thing about quarantine and like getting the COVID-19
Mhm.
or the COVID 20, 25, 35, 55. I didn't gain any of that.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't gain any of that. So for me, quarantine was it was weird, don't get me wrong, because I like to be around a lot of people.
Yeah.
So I said shouts to my therapist because if it wasn't for my therapist, I don't know where I would have been during quarantine. But she advised me to get a dog,
Oh, yeah.
and I ended up getting a dog. And she also told me, because at that time I was still trying to lose my weight, maintaining it, and blah 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 blah. And she was like, "You need to stick with it. I know we're in quarantine. There's not really much else you can do. You need
Yeah.
to switch it up." So she gave me the idea of getting these flip chart papers and just writing down everything. And
Yes,
so
sir.
I literally did that a lot during quarantine. And now I've used it as like my thinking cap for my own business.
Mhm.
So girl, quarantine was great for me.
Well, that's what
It was great.
look, that's what I'm gonna hear, because I mean, it really is. I told everybody it's like God pressing pause for us to figure it out and giving us a chance to, catch up and have the rest that we needed.
Right.
So it makes me extremely happy to know that you used it to like be constructive and like create
Yes.
something new to help other people. So it's
Yes.
not just for you, it's for everybody else. So
Yes.
since you already mentioned the business, go ahead and plug that and tell us about that business that came from that flip chart.
Yes. Oh my God. So Love Rucker Ave was kind of already a concept that I've had for a very long time. I've had this concept for a whole long time. So really the name came from a dream.
Okay.
I had a weird dream back in high school that essentially I had a street named after me.
Mhm.
Um, I was nobody in high school. Let me just put that out there. I wasn't nobody. So anyway, this dream came about and I had this street named after me, and everyone that lived on this street was some form of element of love. Like
Mm.
that was just like my I guess you could say that was just my word or the element I wanted to be in high school is just being around love, showing love, giving love, receiving love, whatnot. And so the end of the dream showed the street name, which was Love Rucker Ave.
Mm-hmm.
And for whatever reason, that name just stuck with me all through college, after
Mm-hmm.
college. And I knew after college I was going to start my own business. I just never knew when it was going to be a thing.
Yeah.
And so then last year I decided to start the company, like get my LLC and actually start Love Rucker Ave.
Mm-hmm.
And part of it was me, releasing my books and going down that avenue. And then the artwork kind of came, a little bit between that, but I wasn't too confident yet to just throw it out there.
Mm-hmm.
And then the fitness business came shortly right after that. And I think if you were to really ask me, like, what's the core component of my company, it's going to be LRA Fitness that works really under the Loveruckerave brand.
Yeah.
So, that's kind of how all that started. And then, now I have everything under Love Rucker Ave, but I have some sub names, which I just said, like for my fitness business, it's LRA Fitness.
Mm-hmm.
So that's been going well,
Good.
and so it's been interesting seeing how the transition from just having a name, to now me actually running a full-fledged company. So
Yeah. Look, taking the time to write it down and make it plain changes the game for real. Like
yes,
it makes that idea come to life because you literally put it in another form. So it gives it
right,
a space to expand. So
right,
yeah.
exactly,
So I'm super glad
exactly,
that you took the chance and you did that part at least, because most people lose so many dreams and so many different things that they should be doing because they don't even write it down. You'll forget it. Like with everything going on, you're gonna forget. So
right.
I'm grateful that you did that. So now other people gonna be blessed by it. So you
Yes,
yes. You mentioned your book. So tell the people, self-published author, tell them
yes, we know it. We've talked about it.
tell them
Yes.
about your two books and what they're about.
Well, so my first book, which was so long ago. So we actually talked about that.
Mm-hmm.
So we had a conversation about it, and prior to that year, I had about 8 years of journaling that I did. Part of it was in high school, most of it was in college, and it took different forms over time. In high school, I really wasn't someone who was like, "Oh my God, I'm gonna write a book."
Mm-hmm.
And then when I got to college, some of the conversations I was having with people after I came out was really therapeutic for me. One, it was therapeutic because I felt as if I was growing as a person through other people's experiences, if that makes
Mm-hmm.
sense.
Yeah.
Um, and so a lot of times when I was giving my intake on their lives or even what's going on with me, it was more so like a spiritual dialogue, I guess you could say.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of what came from the first book was that.
Okay.
And so the first book was called Book of Love Thoughts. And the reason for calling it that, because I get that whole question a lot too. It's like, where did that name come from? Was really just me taking all forms of the book, because I will say this book was an 8-year project. So it took different forms. The book was never just written one way and it stuck that way. It was
Mm-hmm.
written in, I honestly will say, like 30 to 40 different forms.
Wow.
So I felt like it was a labor of love for me. And so that's how I named it Book of Love Thoughts. It's
I
different
love that.
books,
I love that.
So yeah, that's how that came about. Now, as far as like what the book is really about, it's really just talking about life and
Mm-hmm.
talking about life from my lens. It's like 10% my life and like 90% other people's lives. But you
Mm-hmm.
won't know who it is, what they did, what was going on, blah, 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 blah. It's just my twist to it, which is what makes the book so unique, because It's not that person telling the story. It's more so me telling their story from my viewpoint.
Man, that's so dope. I love
Yes.
that.
Yes. Now, the second book, let me just make this very clear. The second book is all about me. Every piece. Every freaking piece. Every piece. Every story, every incident, every action, all about Roy.
Mm-hmm.
So that book also took different like phases as well. So I actually started writing that book 3 days after my first book. After I got done with my first book, I went literally right into the second book, which this third book that I'm getting ready to embark on, I'm not doing that. I took a whole break.
Yeah.
I'm still taking a break. So, yeah, the second book is about comfortability. You know, the second book was something that also was a bit of a struggle. I'm not saying the first book was, but I think writing a book, it was a little bit of sometimes frustrating process. Because I would like do the writing and whatnot, and then I would have an insecurity about it, and I'm like, oh no, I'll wait, I'll wait, I'll wait, I'll wait. And then I waited 8 years. So so with the second book, I was a little bit more confident. One, because I was working with a publisher and an editor at that time, which I don't know if I like that process now.
Yeah.
I did it, but I don't know if I like it now, because having other people involved in the process, really from a vocal standpoint, was a little frustrating.
Yeah.
Especially with the book just being about me, it was a little frustrating. So the second book, I will say, changed quite a few times. The first book, I was dead set on the name. The second book, no. I changed that name so many times. And the reason I changed the name is because I actually read a book called Things I'll Never Say. And the book blew my mind.
Yeah.
It blew my mind. I was like, oh, this is nice. I like this. So I basically was like, I want this name. For whatever reason, I like this name. And so the reason why it's called Things I'll Never Say is because I think back then a lot of people had maybe known me for being a very not conservative, but there's only so much I will show or tell. I won't say everything. And so a lot of times on social media, a lot of people they've known me to be a little bit more calculated about what I put on social media, what I don't put on social media, and whatnot. And so I felt like this book was a testimony to myself about what I wanted to put out.
Yeah.
And at this point, I'm putting out everything.
Yeah.
I'm putting out all the experiences I've had. I'm putting out the relationships I've had, the men that I've dealt with that were trash, the men I dealt with that were great. I might have been trash. I might have been great. Who knows? You know, and then like the friendships I've had, friendships that have grown, reconnected, lost, gained. I talk about being in the fraternity. A lot of people, from my lens, a lot of people don't know what it's like being a Black gay chapter advisor in a predominantly white fraternity.
Yeah.
Because that's a whole nother story.
Yeah. I can imagine.
And then I was also engaged, and that process, that was another reason why the book changed so much, because the last chapter of the book was about being in it's in a relationship, and that piece in itself was a lot for me to tackle, because I didn't know how I wanted to publicize that.
Yeah.
But after like a whole year, I figured it out. So yeah, I think all of those things allows you to understand what comfortability means to you, which is why that's I guess you can say, concept of the book. So yeah.
Look, both of those books sound like something that everyone needs to read, because we all deal with comfortability, and like you get lost in it. You don't know if you should move. You don't know if you should stay. You don't know how to adjust it. And then
Right.
the first book is cool because you allowed your experiences with other people to teach you different lessons. Like
Right.
smart people don't have to go through everything to to learn. So
Right.
it's good to be observant and to learn lessons from other people. Like, shoot, I say no to that. I ain't gonna do that. Da, 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 da. Like,
Right.
like for real though. But
Right.
I think that's so dope. And you know how much I love. I'm so happy.
Thank
So
you.
so
Thank
good.
you.
Um,
And yes, there's another book coming. So it's not the last one.
I'm sure it's more than another one book coming. I'm sure it's more than that.
Right. Right.
Roy,
Yes.
we have to be the version of another version of Chicken Soup for the Soul. Both of us.
Yes, absolutely. No, like seriously.
Like seriously, that's the goal. But yeah, tell me a little bit more about the fitness and wellness business. Because it seems like it's way more than just fitness. Like, tell me
Yes. Oh
what
my
else is.
God. Yes. Yes. I'm so glad you said that. Um, so yes, LRA Fitness is my fitness and wellness business. That started in a very interesting way. My year anniversary for having my first client is coming up next month. Very excited.
Yay!
She gave me the inspiration to like spearhead the business,
Mm.
but her name's Amelia. And I have learned so much. It's been crazy because after I got my certification, I was just like, okay, where am I going with this? How am I gonna take this? How am I gonna do this? It really was more so just taking all the bits and pieces of what I do and building a business out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So in August, I was like, it's time to quit. So I quit and I was like, okay, it's time to start this company.
Yeah.
So and I hit my height at 12 clients in October and now I'm at 9. So I'm
Okay.
comfortably at 9 people that I train one-on-one. So most of my programs that I have are geared towards either cardio, strength training. I'm actually getting ready to launch my nutrition like program, and that's been kind of in the works for a little bit. I originally had it in my programs, and then I took it away. Now I'm getting ready to re-add it again because I've been having a little bit more of a demand for it.
Mm-hmm.
My classes start this month, so I'm actually going to be launching those. And then I have merch that's coming at the end of the summer. So I won't
Yeah.
talk too much about that, but yeah, merch is coming. Um, but yeah, so most of the clients that come to me, they either are wanting to get back into running, wanting to learn how to run, because a lot of people don't know how to properly run. Some people come to me to figure out how to correct their form, whether that be in running or strength training or just lifting in general. Or people just want to come to me to feel better. Like
Yeah.
I had a client who came to me, literally she just wanted to feel good about what she had,
Yeah.
and a lot of times when I talk to my clients during my consultation, I tell them straight up, I'm here to be your biggest cheerleader. If you want to know who is going to be your ride or die, can you on the side, like, yeah, girl, you better get that, it's gonna be me, okay? I'm just elevating what you already have. And I
Exactly.
think a lot of times pointing out what they have is essential, and that needs to happen over time.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's really I guess the premises of my the fitness part. Now here's the wellness part piece, because I think that is very important. I think it's important for any coach to really invest in the wellness component of your company if you are
Absolutely.
focused on the wellness piece, or you should maybe add it, because any client that you have, you're not just going to talk about lifting or running or losing weight. You're not going to talk about any of those things and that just be it.
Yeah.
You're going to talk about what happens in the house. Like I've had many conversations with my clients about sex.
Mm-hmm.
I've had many conversations with my clients about what's going on in their relationship,
Yeah.
what's going on at home. I even had a client call, her husband called me and thanked me for um, motivating his wife to work out or really just coming to see me because he said like he noticed her day to day changed,
Yeah.
even how she was walking in the house. So when you hear those things, that's the wellness piece working. That's the advice that you're giving your client. That's the correcting maybe certain methods that they're using, changing habits. You know, they might have some bad habits that they didn't know about. And it's like, well, we need to change that.
Yeah.
I feel as if that makes you a fitness and wellness coach, or some people like to call it a holistic coach. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I think when that's the focus, you're going to get your client back to feeling great about what they already have a lot quicker.
Absolutely. Look,
Yeah.
what people don't realize is the gifts that you've been given by God are meant to be used for ministry, and how you use them determines like if it's effective or not. And so
Yes.
I think that if you find honor in like serving others in general, it's gonna help you in your business, it's gonna help you in everything that you're doing. So I mean, it sounds like that's what it sounds like to me that you're doing. You're servicing the client, but not just one part of them, the whole being. So like you
Yeah.
said, holistically, you are definitely doing that. So
Yes. We're here for the people.
tell me how has being a D1 athlete helped you with this realm of your life? Like what did you learn from that area of your life to bring to this part?
Woo. Yes. Whew. Um, you know, one thing that I took from running in college, and even because there's a lot of times I go back to my last year as a D1 athlete, and then I go
Mhm.
back also to my senior year in high school, because those were
Mhm.
like my 2 years where I took a lot of my knowledge and my understanding of a person and
Mhm.
how they should run a fitness and wellness company like this.
Uh,
And one thing for sure is you as a person, if anybody's holding you back, it's you. It's nobody else.
Yep.
It's you. It is you.
That's
Okay. It
real.
is you. All you. Only you. Okay.
Every day.
Every day. Right. Every single day.
Every day.
Every morning, every day, every night, every weekend, every
Yep.
year. Okay. Every decade.
Not decade, Lord
Right.
Jesus.
Every decade. Okay. And I say that because I think my last year, when I pulled both my hamstrings, you know, I always go back and ask myself, why did God allow that happen? You know,
Mhm.
and what was going on in my head at that time. And I think a lot of it was like growing up and just trying to figure out what was going to happen to me personally that I thought was going to benefit me. And I definitely will say I was one to hold myself back. And I always try to, you know, encourage my clients to think about that that
Yeah.
concept, that component, whenever they don't see results in 2 months,
Yeah.
or they're looking, the result they're looking for is not the result they're getting.
Yeah.
That's a move, okay?
Yes.
A lot of times that happens. And I think it changes the conversation when you redirect the focus.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. One other thing I will say that I pulled from high school is what does discipline mean to you? Because I will say in high school, maybe not in college, but in high school, I was a very disciplined athlete.
Yeah.
Like you can ask anyone in my high school. I played no games, okay? I was ready to go to college and tear something up.
Yes. For real though.
So, a lot of people who train with me, I let them know first and foremost, I don't play no games. So when you
Mhm.
come with me, we're gonna find a way. We're gonna find what works for you.
Yeah.
But being disciplined is necessary because if you fall short, that's fine. You got to pick yourself back up and keep going. And a lot of times that means something different for different people. Um,
Absolutely.
I try to explain the concept of self-discipline in a way that they understand the habits they may have, um, even the good habits that you may have. There's ways to elevate that so that they become a part of your day-to-day life.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Yeah. I mean, discipline is the key to freedom. So
absolutely
if you don't have discipline, I don't know how you can see yourself elevating in any way because
correct.
you're not going to have the skills to maintain it once you get there. So,
Right,
absolutely correct.
absolutely.
So, I know that there's a lot of people that are around you. Your circle is pretty tight. So, tell me, what are your 5 non-negotiables when it comes to people being around you?
You said five non-negotiables. Woohoo!
Now,
Oh, girl. Mm.
if you don't have 5, it's
Mhm.
okay. But we got
Oh,
some.
I got 5 million. Okay. Yes. You know what? I guess what's not negotiable for me is I don't do bad juju. Like
Yeah,
the energy has to be right.
yeah.
Has to be right. So if your energy is not right, I'm gonna keep it cute, keep it mute, and keep it moving. Okay? Because I'm not here for that. I'm
Yes,
not.
sir.
So that's one. Two, everyone in my circle embraces diversity. Like
Mhm.
if you look at my circle of friends, everyone doesn't look the same
Yeah,
at all. And I hang out with the same 7 people.
yeah.
I've been hanging out with the same 7 people for the last decade almost at this point. So for me, I have to have diversity in my circle. I have to be willing to learn something from you. I have to be willing to understand that Roy don't know everything.
Yeah.
So when we talking, when we, discussing stuff, I can pull something from your experience and in return you can pull something from my experience. And there's mutual things going on there. And that's honestly how like the first book came about. So as you can see, this is
Mhm.
a this is a whole circle, a whole cycle. Um, so yeah, if you are not a fan of diversity, then I'm not a fan of you.
Yeah.
So yeah, I gotta have diversity. It's necessary for me. I think the third thing would probably have to be someone who does not have any aspirations in making their lives worth living.
Mhm.
I can't be around depressed people. I can't. It does not work for me.
I
I
feel
am
you.
very vibrant, loud, and outgoing. So if
Yeah.
you are slow, low, and depressing, I can't be around that. Like it's gonna bring my mood down, and I don't do well
It's
with
draining. It's
that.
draining. It really is draining.
Yes, right. It's draining. Yes, and they
It
probably
is.
don't even want to be draining, but they're like, "I'm not trying to be," and it's like, this is draining for me." Okay. Uh, so that's probably the third thing. Maybe number four is someone who doesn't embrace a smile. I think a smile goes a very long way.
Yeah.
All my friends love smiling, which is great because we look great in pictures. And they look bomb in pictures too, and
You
I look
know?
bomb in pictures. So we got a
Exactly.
bomb picture. So I'm here for that.
Yeah.
But I feel like a smile, um, not to say that a smile can do a ton, but a smile can go a long way in front of the right people.
Yeah.
And I've always embraced my smile, and I've always loved when my friends smile. Um, and I think that means a whole lot for me and my circle of people. Um, Also, if you're not an encourager, if you can't, be willing to support or really show any kind of gratitude to anyone else, whether that be one person, 4 people, whatever the number is, yeah, then I can't have you around because I like to support people that support people,
Exactly.
you know,
Exactly.
and support is everything to me. I feel like I'm the cheerleader of Dallas.
Mm. Yep. Yep.
Yep.
Yep.
And my friends know this. I appreciate when they either support me or support other people. I live for that. That makes my heart full when I see that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so yeah, I think it's important when that happens. So yeah, I will say those will be my 5 non-negotiables.
The greats. I promise you. You got look, I feel like you need to be a cheerleader. Like you're the cheerleader for Dallas, I'm the cheerleader for Fort Worth. Like
Yeah, right. Hey, DFW, where we at? Cheerleaders.
hey, we good. We good. We good. We
We
covered.
good.
Do you believe that your purpose is a journey or a destination?
Oh, ooh, that's deep. I'm gonna say a journey, and the reason for that is because it's never ending.
Yeah.
My purpose will never end, and the reason why it will never end is because my purpose will make an imprint,
Yeah.
and it will make an impact on other people who will live beyond me.
And that's
So
what
that
it's about.
includes a journey.
That's
Yes.
what it's about.
Yes.
And my last question is, if you knew then what you know now, would you change anything?
You know, I gripe with this question. I gripe with this question. And the reason I do is because I flip-flop on what I would have done. Because some of the things that have happened to me, I already knew.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I already knew about it. Like, it was already... I get back to it, I'm like, man, why did I do that? Why did I do that? I shouldn't have done that. That shouldn't have happened. But would I take it back? Probably not. I wouldn't. Just because, you know, God has a good way of showing you things that, you know, you needed to witness or be a part of. And I think for me, that's something that I have to keep in mind. And yeah, I've went through some very rough things,
Yeah.
but I've been through some very great things, and I can't knock God for that. So, you know, you have to take things for what they are and keep it pushing. I think that's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Whether you flip flop to like an idea that you had or something that you know went through, and you're sitting here trying to, you know, process it all, it's like you still need to move forward because guess what? You
Yep.
still got water to drink. You still got things to take care of. You still got to go wash your butt. Okay, go wash your butt. You still got to go get some sleep.
Yeah.
You got family to worry about. You got people who are out here looking at you like, what's good? So I think for me, if you take that type of angle to it, you know, flip-flopping won't happen as much.
It's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Look, I'm extremely proud of you and happy that you have this perspective. I'm telling you, like, everything you've been through is what's helping you to have this mindset and like to have the heart that you have for people, because that's not normal. Like you're a whole unicorn out here in real life. So
yes.
like
yes, the black unicorn of all.
Like seriously, because people allow their situations to taint, you know, how they handle other people. And so if you have the strength to like fight through it and still have hope and be nice and be kind like that, it's very rare. So that's I want to give you your flowers for doing that, because that's a big deal.
Yes. Oh my God, we need to give you your flowers, girl, for starting this. Okay. This is awesome. I'm glad that you're still doing this. I mean, even in college, you were like a big inspiration for me. And even now, I mean, you're still rocking what you're doing. You have not lost your purpose. You haven't lost faith, which is great. Because I'm about to say, once you believe in that faith,
yeah,
you know,
I can't do it.
You can't do it. And I think it's important that you continue to do this because you are helping people out here. And I think that's the most important thing, that you're helping people, that you're encouraging people, you're encouraging the youth, you're encouraging adults like me. So keep doing it, girl. I be living for your smoothies. I think the other day I was no, for real. I was telling one of my friends, because you made I think it was a red smoothie. I don't know. I think there was some beets in it.
Yeah, that
You
juice.
made a smoothie with some beets in it, and I was talking to one of my clients about it too. But one of my
Hmm.
friends was like, I was talking to them about it, and we got into this whole rant about beets.
Oh, they nasty, but it's
And
worth it.
right. And so I just want you to know, girl, like, you are making conversations out here happen. Okay. So whether it's about beets or how you living, girl, it's good. So keep doing what you're doing. And then your book came out.
Hmm.
Yes, congrats
Yeah,
on that.
thank you.
You were on Masterpiece. What was it?
Oh,
Was
his
it his
Masterpiece reviews.
yes, was it
Yeah.
his show on YouTube?
Yeah, he started a review show on YouTube. So I just sent in my box. Like I saw it in November, and I was like, the books weren't done yet. So I was like, I'll send it once I finish and launch everything in December. And then it was on there in January. I was shocked because I didn't think it was gonna be on that quickly. But there's no time limit on God, so He does what He
Correct. So,
does.
girl, I'm gonna tell you right now, you're doing it. You are doing it. And if anyone hasn't told you this, you are doing it. Your mama should be very proud of you. I know she is,
She
but
is with her crazy
just
self.
just keep doing what you're doing, Katrina. And you you're just great. You're good energy. So
So are you. I
thank
received that.
you.
Thank you.